Sneaking in the back row is our newly hired DDA director, Becky Goodman. Everybody give a nice welcome. She's not here with us yet, but she will after the first of the year, as soon as her term with Petoskey is up. But she wants to keep herself abreast and kind of dig in, at least to get an idea of what the heck's going on with anything before she steps in the role and we don't help her at all. No, I'm just kidding. Welcome, Becky.
Thank you.
Public comment about anything that is not on our agenda? Oh, go ahead.
Thank you. No, I just wanted to make sure everybody's aware. We have Taste of Harbor Springs this weekend, the 16th. Weather's looking like it's gonna be all right. Harbor Stars is coming up on October 3rd, and the voting for those went out in an email to anybody who gets our newsletter. So make sure you all vote. And then we just scheduled yesterday a meet your city council candidates for October 4th at 7 p.m. And we will have Kathy and Michael, and we'll do it not like we've done with the candidate forum. It'll be a little more informal, but I will moderate and we'll do some Q&A and then let the audience ask questions, just to give them a chance to get to know them.
Where will that be?
It'll be here
Here?
at 7 o'clock. Yeah.
And did you want to mention if anyone did not receive the chamber newsletter and wishes, and are a chamber member and wishes to, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You're talking about the voting?
Yes.
So to make sure that the ballot boxes aren't stuffed, like we've had problems in the past, only somebody who gets the newsletter and we have their email will get the opportunity to vote. If someone does not get the newsletter and would like the opportunity to vote, they can sign up for the newsletter and we can then send them the ballot to do that. So if you know of anybody who, the newsletter is an awesome thing and everybody should get it anyway. But it does allow us to keep track of making sure that the same email is not voting and voting and voting. So, thanks, Jody.
Anything else? Skeletons?
Skeletons October 1 to 31. If you aren't participating, you need to participate. It's really fun. We already have probably 35 businesses and individuals signed up, maybe more. We were at 75 last year. We're hoping to be closer to 85. Oh, yeah.
Amy, Festival of the Book?
Festival, Harbor Springs Festival of the Book is in 2 weeks. And probably everybody knows we're completely sold out of everything. So we've registered 1,300 people. So we just hope the weather cooperates with us. So it hasn't yet. So we're not expecting it to happen at this time. So, but retailers like it when it's raining, they can jump into stores between sessions. So we're excited. It's going to be fabulous. So many of you here are participating in some way or another. So thank you so much for your support.
I think everyone in the town certainly appreciates the beginnings of how many years ago?
This is year number 8.
8. It's great for the city. It's great for the retailers, merchants, restaurateurs.
And Harbor Springs Festival of the Book was nominated.
Oh,
Have you seen
yes.
that? Nominated for Ambassador of the Year. So
Anything else under public comment? Sarah, are you having a sale or anything? Okay, downtown enhancement. Oh, I'm so sorry. Yes.
I don't know if you call this old business or new business, but it's regarding the Merchants Walkway.
But that's on our agenda. So that's what we're moving into right now. So Merchants Walkway update. We're still waiting on the results of the survey from OHM and Vanessa Warren. And maybe about 3 weeks ago or so, Lucas and DPW went out and thoroughly put out the like, don't go through here, don't do anything back here. It's very rocky. And then I think Rachel has a little update to that.
Yeah, so DPW, like Dre said, 3 weeks ago, went out and closed the steps that we discussed in our last meeting. And then Lucas and I are meeting with the county either today or tomorrow with their with the county inspector to see what else we need to do to close it off, like what's appropriate and what's not. I did send an email to Vanessa Warren in regards to what we spoke about in the last meeting with the bringing the design at 50% and 75%. I'm just waiting to hear back on that, so along with the survey results.
And I'm still not sure that that's anything that needs to be public.
Yeah,
Just because we'll never get through this project if we're going public forum on every small step of it, but would you like, I'm sorry.
Yes, I would. I've made 2 notes because I'm on the Merchants Walkway, the building that stands alone, the art gallery on the first floor. And that building, my husband and I bought that when it was 1-story building and put the improvements on over the years. And at the time, there was a nice little signage post that pointed to the Merchants Walkway. And there were little businesses along it, but this is 30-some years later. There aren't any businesses. It's kind of a scam. If you point to the Merchants Walkway and the signage, there's nothing there in the way of retail. There, the back entrances to the stores on Main Street are really not accessible. There's just no there. And the buildings that do back onto the walkway from Main Street are real estate agents, businesses. So this area to be beautified could be nice, but it kind of, there's really nothing there to entice the tourists, and Merchants Walkway is not really functioning. And for over a year, there had been no caution signs, that just happened at the end of July when the sawhorses and the yellow paint and the caution signs and plastic fencing and all was done. It had been like that for over a year without any attention paid to it. And I would like to know with the survey what my property boundaries really are. I've been told by the assessor as well, it's an aerial shot and we just kind of, and so I may be paying for the taxes that are really not on my property. I would like to have the survey information also. And a minute here.
I think I can address the property line. We have had,
They were out last week.
correct, that would be a full survey for us, for them to draw the renderings for the architectural renderings for all the aspects of the walkway.
Mhm.
The first survey, which we had done probably in April. And before then, we have one, at least from either January or February on, showing all the property lines. We have that here, and I would assume that Victor could help you with that survey. So you could see the property lines. We've had that surveyed.
And I think it was filed with the county. It's.
Yes, it's filed.
Like it's filed and everything.
I'm sorry.
It's filed with the county and everything, so that one is the official property line one. The one that was just done was more for the construction piece. So they could determine all of the grades and all of that kind of thing.
So that one doesn't address the property boundaries?
The first survey that we had done
That's,
does. And then the second full survey is for engineering purposes.
Yeah, I'd like to see that. In the renderings, this is the only information I have. Is this what you're,
that's the concept design.
The
Correct, yeah.
have you decided on this?
We, in June, at our June meeting, we did decide on a concept.
On this concept?
I'd have to see what you're, I'd have to see.
I don't know if it's that same one.
Yeah.
That's the old version.
Well, it's the only version I've seen.
Everything that's current is on the City of Harbor Springs website under the DDA portion.
I couldn't find anything on the website, it didn't even mention DDA. But it does mention on the City Harbor Springs website is that it is quaint waterfront town. There's nothing quaint, this doesn't fit in to the city. Quaint, with your traditional homes, your storefronts, everything on Main Street. And then you come to this drawing here and it's cold, stark, and has no quaint charm to it at all. So if you're trying to draw people back there, it's really, to me, it's, they're sitting in my backyard.
Our main priority in the Merchants Walkway was to make it safe for people to walk through that area.
It was safe before, but it hasn't been safe
No,
for 2 years.
Well, correct. I mean, it may have been safe 15, 20 years ago, but with the paver bricks that were in there, they were getting pulled up. And so we made the first attempt, we made the first step as in to have that dug up. In many respects, have we not gone to an open forum and asked for people's opinion? That would at least the groundwork and the cement and the stamped cement would be down already. We've asked for a lot of opinions through the course of this, and so it's taken us a year since it was wrecked. To get to the point where we're at today, where we're not even at this point where we don't have the engineering survey done yet. So we're hoping that will be soon, and then this is going to be probably a spring project. I don't see anything before spring. If there's a remote possibility, our first priority in this all is to get it laid so that is to get the cement laid so it's safe for anyone to walk back there before we do anything else. And it'll be done in stages.
I think in the light of moving the meeting along, can I get your name and address, please?
Marjorie Smith.
Marjorie Smith. All right. And at the end of the meeting, I know I spoke to you in the office before, is that correct?
We did that in it.
You stopped in the office before and spoke to me, so after the meeting, I'll get your contact information, yes. And then we'll figure out the survey for you, okay?
All right. Now, back to these renderings. I don't understand the use of all this tile. Everything looks cold. We're in cold country already. We don't. Anyway, you can look at all the different fountains, and that is fun for a fountain. Around here, they're all rock. It just seems to be part of it. The family, design for the city, everything is rocks. And this is just totally out of concept, I think, of Point Waterfront. It does not allow for the trash that the surrounding businesses have. They've been storing in big containers across the walkway from me and my neighbor's area. It doesn't show any allowance for trash receptacles. And then after you've developed this little area, the walkway would continue west. And then it goes behind Pearson's. And so there you are, you're a tourist and you're walking through these dirty sidewalks and all the trash dumpsters, and that's your view. And the back is a couple more stores that you don't access from the back. The whole area needs more attention than just this little area here.
Margie, we'll certainly take that under advisement, but I think we need to move on because it looks as though we have some more comments for today.
There is some question about encroachment on my property with this design.
Which is why we've had two surveys. The second one, we do not have the result from. And you're more than welcome to access that survey once it's complete by OHM.
Do you plan to do anything this fall?
If they can get the bids out and we can get somebody in there to do it, that would be wonderful.
And you're still going ahead with this design?
Yes, we did approve that design. We've been talking about it for a year.
I think it should be reconsidered.
I thank you for your opinion.
You're welcome.
First, any from the merchants, anybody else on the merchants walkway? Yes.
My name is Peter Pappas and I apologize. I can't hear very well. And did you ask for comment on this project, downtown DDA project? Is that what you're asking for comment on?
If you have comment on the merchants walkway, yes, it's
Yeah.
appropriate time.
Yes. I want to talk to you about a portion of your project. That portion which is defined as right of way, beginning at Spring Street, running for roughly 75 feet directly west and ending at the steps. This is a right of way approximately 12 feet plus in width. And it is bordered on the north side by the south lines of 3 Main Street properties. And on the south side by the backside of Bay Street, certain Bay Street properties. If that is contemplated as part of your project, I have to say this to you. And I want to make sure that I don't make a mistake. I'm going to read a simple sentence. The city of Harbor Springs will not designate this right of way as a pedestrian path, nor will the city do anything that would encourage its use as such. This is a certainty in my mind. And I speak only of this portion because I am familiar. On that right of way, I drove a car in 1957. And I now own the second property west on Main Street of that right of way. Now, the reason I say that is because the city has already designated a competing use for that pathway, that right of way. And that use is inconsistent with placing pedestrians on it. The city did that by mandating parking spaces for the properties involved on Main Street. Mine, which is the second one in, which is labeled Graham Real Estate, which is the smaller building that I rent to them, and Pierre Bitar's building. When you mandate parking spaces, you imply that there is provided roadway to enter them. And that's what we have there. Now, the rest of your project may contain problems. You may encounter problems of this type in the rest of your project. I am not familiar with it, and so I make no comment on it. And I have to tell you, whether you will accept this or not, that if you want to do this, I am not against this project. You want to do it, you can do it. But the city will not, once it understands what's involved, create that kind of hazard to life and limb. You will not put, this city will not put, I assure you, on the same piece of square footage, both automobile and pedestrian use all day long. That's all I have to say to you. I thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. And do you have his name? And you do. Anyone else? In the interest
Excuse me.
of time, we're.
There is a way, of course, of alleviating this. And that is to remove the mandate for parking spaces on these two properties. Then, of course, you can do anything you want with it. Now, whether that would require the approval of the DARs or myself, I don't know, but that is a possible solution should you be interested in this, continuing with this project.
Thank you.
Thank you, Peter.
In support of this, I have a copy of our driveway agreement that's dated June 28th, 1982. And it reads, none of the parties, their personal representatives, heirs, or assigns shall in any manner obstruct, block, hinder, or otherwise impair passage over the premises to the detriment or jeopardy of the other parties, their personal representatives, heirs, or assigns. So I personally am objecting to the sign that is still pictured in this that reads Merchants Walkway. My husband drives a Suburban down that parking spot that was mandated by the city. And he has to back out that Suburban down that driveway. He's not going to be missing that post that holds the sign up. So he's going to be crashing into it to the detriment of our car as well as the sign. So the sign can't happen. And if you continue with the sign, all I have to say is the word fire truck. And now you can't get a fire truck underneath that to fight any fires from the back of the building to that alley.
Sign is been.
So that
Oh, when
sign
you,
can't happen.
in June, we took the sign out of the,
It's still pictured in your documents. So
okay, then
that
you need to.
doesn't assure me that it won't happen.
Well, I think you have the assurance of the board that we
removed it.
removed that. Yeah,
And thank you to Rachel for providing me with this because it isn't posted anywhere in the city's website that you can find it. You told me that it was shown in, I believe, the June or July minutes from this DDA. It's not. So thank you to Rachel. She provided it to me. Otherwise, it's opaque. No one in this town can see this. I don't know how Ms. Smith managed to get a hold of it.
Thank you, Rachel.
Rachel provided it to us. It's a complete surprise to the rest of the town because they can't access it or see it. They don't have Rachel personally to see it. And it's a mystery as to why you're keeping this surprise. It's supposed to be our Christmas card back. So as to, I agree 100% with Mrs. Smith. This doesn't fit the design aesthetic of Harbor Springs at all. It looks like it should be in Birmingham. And when you say that your only objective is to make the space safe, Why are there 4 concrete pillars back there that have no function whatsoever except to self-render side? This design aesthetic doesn't fit our town. And you also aren't addressing water. So if you don't address water, then and you cover the entire thing with concrete, you create a swimming pool. You're not putting in a drain, so there's no place for water to go. It's going to head for people's foundation because it will find a way to go. So I would think that you're going to have to put in some kind of permeable surface that the city's already looking at putting at once.
In the interest of time, we're at 4 minutes, Wendy. That's why we're getting the full survey, which is an engineering survey. We're gonna know much more about what we're gonna need to do.
Well, we, the property owners back there, need to be provided with this. We shouldn't have to ask for it. It should be sent to us. I already said that every person who owns property out back there should have been sent this. You haven't done it. If you haven't done it. So I have no faith that you're going to continue to give me any other documents. And when you say this decision's already been made and we're going ahead with it, you're not listening and you're not caring that we don't like it, we don't want it. And when you say your only objective is to make the space safe, you've gone well beyond that. So
I appreciate your comments, Wendy.
you're not going to, I'm not done.
I'm
not done.
Wendy,
So there's been an ad being run by the Historical Society that says restful resorts, and it has a lovely stone fountain on it. Put in a permeable surface or address the water, no benches, no built-in planters, because you're also not putting in sprinkler systems to water the planters that you want to put in there. And put in a lovely fountain like the rest of the area has and be done. Get out of there. We don't want any more than that. And also, the plantings that you're projecting on my own property won't happen. I have a lovely garden back there that's maintained by Graham Real Estate. You aren't going to take out my plantings to give me what you think I should have with my tax dollars. Thank you.
I would like to add one more comment. When the old fountain was torn out and then the surface taken out, roots were taken out from under my pillars at the back of the building, and water was then draining there, not to the sewer, but under my patio. That is a problem. It's my property, and it's been taken out by the city, by you all. And it is creating a problem for me. You also showed in the drawings different landscape, a lamp post that's on my property. You've just kind of taken it over and included it in this, and without any permission or information. Yeah.
the DDA, as well as the city, during our surveys, first survey and the second survey will not be on anyone's property that does not have the landscape egress. Vanessa from OHM, we will make sure that that's not going to happen on anyone's property unless we do have the landscape easement on that. Anyone else on Merchants Walkway? Just one more. Anyone on the board have anything? Mayor, Matt, Mayor Matt? County TIF update? I think
Victor met with the county. I don't have an update. He's out of town at the moment. He'll be back tomorrow. So I'll speak with him. But I know he was setting up a meeting with them. I want to say it happened earlier this week, but not positive. That is ongoing.
I'm sorry, Rachel, I would like to know what you said.
Oh, Victor met with the county about our TIP update for our
in doing this.
Lost the internet, sorry.
You what?
I lost the internet.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay. Amy, would you be so kind as to send out a email to those 5 people and try to get a first meeting going?
Sure, it'll be in October, but.
Well, yeah.
About next Friday? Nothing's going on until.
Sure.
If you would, that'd be great.
Yep, I'll put it on my calendar and we'll,
And then we can at least get started on it and we can get at least an event page going on Facebook and other social media. So it's in people's minds.
happy to do that.
Before we adjourn, we'll have public comment on anything that, well, I guess we have any public comment on anything that was discussed at this meeting. But I would like to add 2 things. One,
Can I ask who's ever clicking their pen? To either put their pen down or stop doing that? I'm sorry.
I got it.
Thank you.
Oh my God, yes.
Thank you.
Nikki Law wants us to Can you put the financials?
Yeah.
Nick's comment to me regarding the financials is that the TIFs are still rolling in. If you look at 2023's budget versus where we're at right now, we're actually at $30,000 and they're still rolling in. And special assessments as well. We've gotten 1 round of special assessments. Our ending fund balance right now is 174,000. Our beginning fund balance at the beginning of this fiscal year was at 107. Part of that's going to be wages, but part of it's going to be that we have not spent any money on the downtown projects. Down, which we budgeted 42,000 for, we spent 6,000, and that's mainly for, I believe, 2 surveys so far that we've had. The other thing that needs to be brought up that just came to my attention is that the 3rd Street lights have not been fixed. I checked with Nick. We've paid no bill. The last time we paid a bill to the Faith Lawn and Landscape Property Management Company was in December of 2021. I have sent 2 emails and I've made 2 phone calls. I'm gonna reach out today to Tim Knapp and see if he has a special number to get a hold of this Andy Gregoine, who took over after the original owner. Died unfortunately, and so we have to see what's going on. I'm embarrassed and I'll apologize to the 3rd Street businesses and residents that we did not pay attention and did not follow through with this after our June meeting where we agreed to pay $2,400 for any repair work that was necessary there. So just to get those in the minutes and make sure that we're on the up and up. And I'll see if Tim can help me on that. Anyone else for public comment regarding what was on here?
We should make a comment, public comment and the time. You mind if I do?
No, please do.
Okay.
And remember that the first public comment is nothing that's something that's not on
3
the
minutes,
agenda.
right?
Correct.
I just want to make it clear to the audience as we move forward with merchant walkway and other touchy subjects, the public comment is 3 minutes. And we will hold to 3 minutes. We need to respect everyone's time accordingly. It would be unfortunate if we had to ask Chief Knight to have an officer here for DDA meetings. Kind of embarrassing. So if we could please just adhere to 3 minutes. If you do have other comments that do not fit into 3 minutes, please email me and I will meet with you. I will have Victor meet with you. We will get things hashed out, but we have to respect each other's times. Okay, moving forward. Thank you.
There's absolutely nothing on our agendas, nothing that we have currently or previously done that is not transparent. This has been going on for a year, the Merchants Walkway, since we've had it torn up. Our meetings are open, our meetings are on YouTube or Zoom. I can assure you that every one of these board members and the ones that are not here today have always made it clear, as well as myself as the chairman and Nikki, and on behalf of the mayor and on behalf of Victor and Rachel, that we in no way, shape, or form are attempting to hide or surprise anyone. We have shown ad nauseum the original design work. We are literally just waiting on the full survey and the full design to come back from OHM. We certainly will address any issues with drainage. We will certainly address any issues with property lines if they do not have an easement. I know that Margot spoke with some of you about, would you want us to do the landscaping back there? I believe there was a few people that said no. So we certainly won't. That's not our decision to make if you do not have an easement on that property. I do wish that some of you would have a little bit more faith in the DDA and that some of you would have started coming to meetings a year ago so that you're educated on everything related to the Merchants Walkway. Anyone have anything else? Motion to adjourn?
So moved. Second.
Any?
So are we to understand that in spite of our comments of today, you are going to go ahead with the design as it is depicted right now?
We did make a motion and it was approved 3 months ago at the,
You can't do anything before next spring, so you have time to redesign it, but you're not going to.
we're not gonna take another year and do this.
And you've already exceeded your legal budget according to Nick Whitaker at the last meeting, because I haven't been attending these meetings since May.
Our legal budget has nothing to do with this. It may have a small amount to do with this. A legal budget has to do with other issues. Mainly the TIF and the county.
So the property owners have no say in what you're going to do in back of our property.
Wendy, you've spoken to Margot regarding the landscaping on your property and whether or not we
It's
have.
still depicted in your documents have changed.
After the meeting, I'd be happy to sit with you and go over how it works
I
after
know
the
that the
survey.
design concept is not going to.
It's a
change.
concept. So, for instance, the Parks Department is doing Kiwanis Park right now. We have a concept design and it is OHM advisory, so that's why I'm using it as an example. So Vanessa did a concept design for Kiwanis Park. We apply for a grant and then engineering comes in and they say, this is a survey and these are all the things that we need to do. It's a concept design until those engineering like surveys are done, things ultimately will be altered in this concept design, just like the sign being brought up. It's still in the concept design because Vanessa, the board never asked them to go back.
I know, but you're saying two things. You're saying we've approved the design and it's going to go ahead the way it is. And you're saying the concept design, it can change.
A
What is it
conceptual,
going to be?
a conceptual design has been approved.
So the ceramic tile pillars and the fountain with the tile and the benches and the raised planter beds are all the concepts that you're going to go ahead with.
If the design work and OHM come back and say that this is something that we can do, number one, feasibly in that area, and number two, within the budget that we have to do it. Again, we've been for a year, and Wendy, you have not been at every meeting. We've made motions, we've moved forward.
Need to go, sorry.
Okay, thank you, Amy.
We have had objections before. These objections from the property owners are not new. We've attended meetings in the past year and voiced our opinion.
Yeah,
but
and
they're
did you
not
say that
being
you were,
listened to.
were you on the Merchants Walkway Committee?
I'm a
Is that-
property owner, and
I thought she.
don't know anything about a committee.
Her daughter was on it.
daughter. Oh.
And
And that was the group that you disbanded so that you could take it over for yourself.
No,
And it's in your own minutes.
yes, no, I understand what you're saying, Wendy. We disbanded that committee because we couldn't move forward on anything. Because the people in that committee, we brought it back to the full board so that we could proceed forward without argument, without threatening of any lawsuits related to property lines and easements. City is not going to move forward on anything that's going to be illegal or encroaching on your property. I wish that you would just, I wish that you would have at least a minuscule amount of faith, Wendy, that we're not going to.
You're saying that this, in spite of all of our input, is what you're going to go ahead with, and we're objecting to it. And the group that was working with you, that was designing something that would have been appealing to them, which I never saw. You disbanded so that you can take it over, so that you can do this.
I guess, yes, we
Yes,
did.
that's exactly what it is.
Yes, we did.
And our input is not asked for it. We are limited to 3 minutes to give it to you, and please get away from us and out of our face, because this is what we're going to ram down your throats.
I think you're very. We had a motion from Amy. I just need a second to adjourn. Okay, thank you all.
It is on tonight.